Coming up on today's episode, we discuss Victor Wembanyama. Does he and his fan base owe us an apology after the first couple Summer League games? I do know he owes Britney Spears an apology. The video proves he lied his ass off. And, the biggest thing I want to discuss today, why I truly think LeBron James is going to be a San Antonio Spur in 2024 and 2025. It's all coming up right now. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Tricky Guy Sports Podcast. It's your host, Brent Bilski, a.k.a. Double B. What is going on? We had quite a week and a weekend, didn't we? Yes, the Victor Wembanyama. That's who's going to be the main focus of my time today, and really the most interesting thing going on. MLB All-Star Game and all that's going to be going on. That's great. Home Run Derby's more exciting than the game. There's other things that just kind of are peeking around here or there. But the number one pick, the French Phenom, as he's going to start the Wemby, as they want to call it, as I've heard that nickname and others, very interesting things going on there. He owes an apology, a absolute apology for the Britney Spears incident, BritneyGate, as it were, as it looks like, dude, that security, we'll get into it. We'll discuss it. I don't really think he owes an apology for the games over the weekend, the Summer League games that we're going to discuss, but, hey, this was supposed to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time, the greatest thing we've ever seen. And yes, lots of good stuff there, but also not so. It wasn't all so good. Sometimes he was sloppy, like a croissant you left outside in the rain, and then it got all muddy and wet. And he did all right. He didn't do the greatest thing I've ever seen. Wasn't like I just went there like, oh my God, I need to touch my nipples. This is the greatest prospect of all time. Wojnarowski, this is the greatest prospect in the history of sports. I saw some. Saw here and there. I saw a little bit here, a little bit there, but then I also saw him airball. He airballed twice. I'll start with Speaking of GOATs, though, this is where I want to lead off today, and I think this is important. There's a very real chance, in my opinion, and I'm not even just saying this to talk out my ass. I'm being real here. I really think there's a chance when I look at all the things coming together, and I'm good at predicting the future a lot of times, that LeBron James might be a San Antonio Spur next year, and everyone kind of needs to brace themselves for that.
You're psychic. You can predict the future.
I've got a brain for this, so let me explain what I'm talking about here, because Victor Wembanyama is going to be the stretch, the stretch four. He's going to be the stretch of the show here. But there's a good chance LeBron's going to join him. I really could see this happening, so let me explain why. Okay, first of all, it is, dude, it's weird to me. It's weird to me that it's not more of a story. And I sometimes, maybe I should just ask for your help. LeBron fan, NBA fan, sports fan out there, help me understand why it's not, because I am really into this story. LeBron has basically just declared to the world he is going to follow his kid. I'm not mad at him for it. I don't really, of all the times he's left the team, I don't think this is actually a bad reason or a, motivation to go do that. I support him on this in most of the ways it just makes sense. Why not? Go join your kid. I get it. I like this idea.
I like that idea, and I will support it.
But explain to me, sports fan, LeBron fan, what I don't understand is why it's not a bigger thing. Because usually when a, undisputed GOAT is going to, or at least a generational, the transcendental, whatever you want to call it, one of those players decides to leave a franchise, it's usually a big deal. It just is. Usually when a guy who we consider is the greatest of all time is even way before it happens. I mean, it really usually overrides the season and whatever goes down. When someone is basically even rumored to say they're about to take off somewhere else, it's usually a very big deal.
I don't know how to put this, but kind of a big deal.
And this is unique in the fact that this kind of a big deal, one that you guys tell me is the greatest of all time, has basically declared outright out loud, also followed by Brian Windhorst and others, said it's more important than a title, that no matter what else happens, when he plays next year, he is going to follow his kid. He's going to leave and go to whatever team he's on. How is that not? Look, I'm telling you, you want to get rid of the Jordan thing, fine. I mean, I still think The Last Dance and watching, I mean, he was winning a title and no one really focused on the title. I mean, you watch the documentary. Most of the documentary and that last season, The Last Dance, was more about, dude, are you really going to leave? You still can play. Like, are you really going to leave Chicago? Are you really going to, are you going to go ahead and take off? I mean, that really on its own should make my point about how usually when a GOAT is going to leave your franchise, it is a bigger story than even the season that is upcoming or going on.
It's the only argument I need, Sean.
You want to ignore Jordan? Fine. Look at Tom Brady. How about that? How about we just, go somewhere else? Tom Brady, there's not even, there, at least in basketball, you do have your LeBron camp, you have your Jordan camp, you have, some others. Most people agree that in NFL, especially in the quarterback position, that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. Is there anyone who really wants to dispute that and just be an asswipe?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
So when Tom Brady was, same story, like, was older, had won his titles, had done his thing, had established himself, but now he's at the end of his career. He's in Tampa. He's not having, yes, he had the 1 year of success, but then after that, he wasn't doing as well, and he was flirting with retirement. But most of the story and most of the NFL focus, the offseason, everything was all, legitimized and based around, hey, Tom, are you leaving? Are you leaving? Tom, are you leaving? Where are you going to go? If you leave, where are you going to go? You're going to go to Miami? You're going to go to Miami? It was the constant storyline. So, if other generational greats, if a Gretzky, Kobe, when Kobe retired from L.A., the same franchise, it was a big deal. I do not understand. I don't get it. I don't get how, if he's one of the greats, I don't understand how it's not a bigger story. He is flat declared, I'm going to go.
You just don't get it, do you? You don't.
I don't understand. I don't know why this isn't a huge focus the same way that when Tom Brady left or was flirting with leaving, it was a big deal in Tampa. It was a big deal in the NFL. I don't understand how when Michael Jordan had his issues with Jerry Krause and the whole story about are you going to leave when you can still contribute was the biggest story in the NBA. Both of those seemed to be bigger than even the outcomes of the season. How you have the other guy who's supposed to be on that list, is supposed to be right there or maybe above, has flat out not just flirted with it, flat told you. He is telling you he's going to leave. Yet somehow it's not a big story. Yet somehow I'm just overreacting or just trying to, at least ask the question. You tell me. You tell me why that's a different situation. Because he said he's going to leave.
Explain that to me! Explain it to me, God! Explain it to me, God! I want it explained to me now, Jesus!
Comment, whatever. Dude, you explain to me how that's not if he's on the same level, how it's not weird that it's not more of a focus when he's declared that he's going to do it. Whatever. So, we do know it, though. He's going to bounce, and, man, I'm telling you, San Antonio Spurs fans, go ahead and prepare for this. I really think there's a big chance this is actually going to go down for a multitude of reasons. For one, we can do the small stuff. Just recently, by the way, shout out to Greg Popovich, after getting the number one pick, he was one. There's another one. There's another guy that we were like, is he going to stay around? He can still contribute. He's still, he has the success, but we don't know. And he could still help out the next group. And what happens if he leaves? And no, that was a big storyline. Well, he's going to be sticking around. Greg Popovich has re-signed for 5 years, $80 million. Money, man. Money. Yeah. So good for him, good for Greg. And LeBron even came out and gave him some love in a tweet and said, hey, man, congratulations. Next wine dinner's on you. So, you could even start with those little speculations and the little comments that LeBron has made before. He loves him some Greg Popovich. He knows Greg from the Olympics. Obviously, he just knows him as a fellow basketball mind. He's always enjoyed his coaching, his style, everything else. They hang out outside of the NBA. They have a relationship. So besides the fact that LeBron has a relationship with Greg Popovich, let's just start with just that little nugget of why I think LeBron is actually going to be a San Antonio Spur next year, or at least a very, very big opportunity or chance that it's going to happen. Again, he's also following his kid. We know this for a fact. He's tweeted it out publicly that he's going where his kid goes. And again, not mad at it. Not mad at it. I don't want you guys to think I'm hating on this.
I like that idea, and I will support it.
He has been, if nothing else, LeBron has been one of the best athlete fathers I mean, he really does do a great job. He's a great dad. He is. I mean, there are videos after videos. I'll just show you one real quick where he's watching his kid play and he's hyped as all can be. He's one of those parents that's, getting on the court way too loud, all that stuff. Here's LeBron watching Bronny, yamming it. Look at him. I mean, genuinely excited. He likes being around his kids. He likes being a father. So the idea that it's not even, but Brian Windhorst has said as much. Brian Windhorst has said, look, him joining Bronny next year is really, it's bigger than a title. It's bigger than anything else. And a lot of that's kind of your fault, to be honest, if you don't want him to leave, because you've given him the status no matter what. He doesn't need a fifth title for whatever reason for a lot of people to be put up or above the ones that have the 5 titles. So, of course, it's why would a title mean much to him? He's already been anointed no matter what he does. He could average 0 points a game for the next 3 years. He'll still be anointed the GOAT as far as in a lot of people's heads, and there's nothing I can do to change that. So it's kind of your fault that he doesn't really give a damn about staying in LA and trying to win one more title to catch up to the ring count.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
But it is your fault. And the other thing is, so again, he loves Greg Popovich, and he's always been a fan of his coaching style. He's following LeBron James. LeBron James is following Bronny James. And do you know that the San Antonio Spurs don't have 1, they don't have 2, they have 3 first-round picks next year?
What does that do? Does that blow your mind?
LA might even have 1. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, Lakers fan. This is why I think this is a huge story. The Lakers organization is only going to have a first-round pick if the Pelicans decide to pass. If the Pelicans decide to pass because of the Anthony Davis trade from a few years back, they have the option to keep it in 2024 or move it to 2025. If they decide to keep their pick next year, your pick's gone anyways. You don't even have a first-round pick. You'd have to trade or do something major to do it. On the other side of the table, the San Antonio Spurs, again, don't have 1, they don't have 2, they have 3 first-round picks.
Damn, Daniel.
Now, some of these are lottery protected, and there's some things around it, but it looks like they're going to work out to where the Spurs, after this year, they're still not going to be competitive, as we'll explain with Victor Wembanyama. He's not ready for the big show yet. He's going to have moments. He's going to have flashes, but whatever. So Spurs are going to have, most likely, maybe 2 lottery picks coming up. So if anyone can, quote-unquote, waste a draft pick, and it's not even fair to say waste a draft pick, Bronny James on his own is a legit draft pick. He is a first-round talent. He is very, very good. I have lectured before. The sons of pros are a great way to go. You look at Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, the Ripkins, the Griffeys, McCaffrey. There's kid after kid after kid after kid that showed that people that come from an athletic, that come from the tree of whatever, the ability to know what it's like to be a professional athlete by the time you're 4 or 5, to be around it, to see what it takes. All that stuff's beneficial. That alone, to me, should escalate Bronny past a lot of other so-called, first-round talents. Just on that alone, I think that should be a bigger decider or a bigger factor in why you should draft someone or take a risk on someone. So I'll ignore even just the obvious, genetic that he's going to get from being Bronny's kid. But he is, on his own, a talented, good kid. He's the son of a pro athlete. Both of those things really stick out to you. And you get LeBron with him. You get a guaranteed, GOAT with him. So for reasons 1, reasons 2, reasons 3, I think you would be out of your goddamn mind if you did not use one of your 3 first-round picks. If you're the San Antonio Spurs, and you have 3 first-round picks, and you don't use one of them on Bronny James and quote-unquote waste it to go get LeBron to come to you, you are nuts. You are silly. It makes so much sense. Besides, again, he loves Popovich. He also, if there's anyone... And tell me right now, if you're the San Antonio Spurs fan who's bitching at me, and I will get into it because a lot of you guys are upset at even the possibility of this, help me understand this. San Antonio Spurs fan, LeBron James coming to your team by addition of drafting Bronny James, when you have 3 first-round picks and one of those could, quote-unquote, be wasted, even though to me it's not a waste because he is talented and he could be good on his own. So by adding Bronny James and then adding LeBron James to the San Antonio Spurs organization, who ever in the history of ever, as far as anyone in any sport right now, could be a better teammate and mentor than LeBron James to Victor Wembanyama?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Who else besides LeBron James understands the spotlight, understands the pressure of being the so-called greatest prospect the world has ever seen? Because even people are saying that Victor is the greatest prospect that we've ever seen since LeBron James. So who would be a better mentor and someone to better explain and show him the ropes than the last guy who was the last phenomenal number one pick that we thought was a chosen one can't miss?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Who else could do it better? I mean, yes, you do have the big three right now. They've already said they got Manu, they got Tony, they have Duncan over there, all mentoring Victor Wembanyama this season. And that's great. So you start with those three who teach him the Spurs way, teach him the fundamentals, teach him what it's all about to be part of this organization. But after that, as far as dealing with the significant pressure that only he really knows right now, after dealing with the spotlight that only he really knows right now, who's another person that could do it better than LeBron? The last one who had to go through it.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
This is genius. I don't know what else I can say, as far as though there are other people besides me that have looked at these, all these connecting factors that, hey, Spurs got a ton of draft picks. They could easily risk one on a Bronny knowing it comes as a package with LeBron. We all know that LeBron loves him some Greg Popovich, and that would be a perfect opportunity there, besides just the kid being there, the other opportunity to finish his career with a coach that he loves. Not to mention that who could be a better mentor to this number one pick that fell in your lap that's considered the greatest prospect the world has ever seen than the last person who was considered the greatest prospect the world has ever seen, and deal with that unique, significant, understanding of what is actually going on. I'm not the only one coming down and thinking about this. There's been articles now. You can start Googling this. There are a few starting to kind of put the puzzle pieces together the way I am.
And I read.
NBA rumors LeBron joining Wembanyama and Spurs to create a chosen ones duo. It sounds pretty brilliant to me, as they quoted, when Victor was given the number one after the draft lottery, even said to the San Antonio Spurs, "I am trying to win a ring as soon as possible, so get ready, San Antonio." I might have leaned into the accent a little bit, but that's basically what he said. And so what's a faster way to accelerate your process than signing LeBron James? I don't know. The fact is, look, LeBron is still... Of all the times I kind of bitch and complain about the overratedness, and I don't think he's up there at the GOAT level, I will say without question that LeBron James is currently still not just productive. Do you know that he's actually been scoring and statistically been more productive than he was even his years as a Miami Heat? I don't think a lot of y'all know that.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind?
Let me go ahead and, just in case you think I'm lying, or Google this yourself if you're listening, look up the numbers on this. LeBron James last year I will show you the stats, and we'll zoom in a little bit here, at 35 minutes a game, so less minutes than he played, or, right around, he played in other years a lot, at least a couple, 3 more minutes per game, is averaging currently 28.9. I was even shocked by this. LeBron was still averaging 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's more rebounds and assists than last year. It's the last time he scored 28.9 or anything higher than that. You have to go all the way back to his 2009-2010 years at Cleveland. So that's 13 years ago. He is still very productive. I really, this to me is almost a no-brainer if you're the Spurs and if you're LeBron and if you're everyone involved in this this whole situation, and you're Victor and you're looking for a mentor. This whole thing just comes together in a perfect, just freaking bow. I really don't think there's any other situation that could be better, and I really think there's at least a high possibility. If there was something that's a year in the future that I could predict that I will give a solid, I think I'm calling a very, likely shot here. LeBron to San Antonio to mentor Victor, and then to bring his kid along there as well, and see if they can kind of accelerate the Spurs, movement going to the future. I think this really could happen.
You're psychic. You can predict the future.
Oh, and by the way, did I even mention the fact, besides everything I just said, that next year the San Antonio Spurs have $75 million open currently in cap space. Now, obviously, that's going to change with certain contracts and things that they do, but they have at least the ability to sign 2 more max players with all the money that they have. They have 3 first-round picks. They have more picks than that next year. They got so many second-round picks, it's coming out of their anus. They have assets galore. They have money galore. They have everything that you would need to, besides the fact that you're going to have second-year Victor and still Greg Popovich in that organization. And then you bring in LeBron, tell other free agents, dude, come on down. Let's steal a ring. Let's all steal a ring together. Let's do the damn thing. Everything, the money is there, the assets are there. I think if things work out, LeBron will be there. A second-year Victor Wembanyama will be there. If you're these free agents, and some of the ones that are on the list are big names, guys like, Clay may not be there, but we'll see. Pascal Siakam, Buddy Hield, Jaylen Brown is currently up for next year. There's going to be others that might come out and opt out as player options. LeBron himself might either be a player option or maybe a sign-and trade. Who knows? But there's a lot of different players who might look at that situation and look at two guys that, for being superstars, are considered unselfish, at least on a basketball court, and go, hey, interesting possibilities here. So add it all up one more time. LeBron does love him some Greg Popovich. He is going where Bronny goes. Bronny is considered a late lottery or mid-level first-round draft pick. The Spurs don't have one. They don't have two. They have 3 overall picks. Victor could use a mentor. Yes, he has the big 3 with him this year, but overall, who could actually mentor him better as considered the greatest prospect the world's ever seen than the last person in LeBron that's been considered the greatest prospect the world was ever seen before it to help him understand what it's all about. They also have $75 million in cap space. They have multiple draft picks that they can trade. They have assets galore. Everything is just wrapped up in a friggin' bow. So I will say it again one more time. I think that next year we will see LeBron James in a San Antonio Spurs jersey to join Victor Wembanyama and form a new chosen duo.
You're psychic. You can predict the future.
All right. I think I made my point. On that one, and I will throw it away. Someone else who might be throwing away their goodwill already, let's get into it. Victor, let's start with the Victor Wembanyama. Oh, boy. Oh, yes, you did. You're a liar. You're a liar. You got the cops to lie for you. Yes, you did. You lied. Victor Wembanyama is lying. His security team is lying. The Vegas cops are lying. There's a lot of people lying right now.
Look, it was the big lie. We'll delay the lie for 1 year.
In case you missed it, Britney Spears gate, that really was all over the national news. It was a big deal, BritneyGate. Did the slap happen? Who caused the slap? Did she grab his ass? All this other stuff. Was it all, big deal. He lied. He lied. Victor's a liar. And he owes her an apology. He really does. Victor Wembanyama owes Britney an apology. I saw the tape. I'm going to show you the tape. He lied. There was so in case you missed the story, and I don't know how you did if you're watching the San Antonio Spurs NBA fan or just a fan of life in general. So Victor Wembanyama is the most popular man in the world, and he was going to the restaurant Friday before the games, and he said security said, no one talks to Victor. Victor, you keep your eyes forward and you walk. And some little lady came behind. He did not know who tapped his shoulder, but he says grabbed his little skinny ass. And then she got smacked in the face, glasses got knocked off, and he claimed a bunch of BS saying, oh, I was grabbed from behind, and no. You should know this story. We got video, and he's a liar. I'm going to get to it. Let me go ahead and start this. This was, in case you didn't see all this, via the TMZs. They have it, and no, that's not what happened. So here she is. So here we go. This is her tapping him on the shoulder, right? Do you see anyone grabbing any rear end? This is Britney Spears. Not quite looking like she used to, but still looks good. We some of us, it's hard getting old. You know what I'm saying? But she runs Vegas, by the way. That's the other thing that's crazy about all this. Britney Spears usually runs Vegas. The fact that he got Vegas and everyone else to be on his side.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
That's supposed to be her city. So look, she's going to lightly tap him on the shoulder here, and let's go ahead and get back into it. Smack. Watch this video in fast motion. Victor, hey, excuse me, whack. This is the full video, then we'll get into the slow motion. But here we go, one more time. So look, by the way, is there a crowd? That was the other thing that they reported. There was this huge crowd, and we had to walk through real quickly because I was swarmed by other people, and I did not know what to do. It was crazy. There's like 5 freaking people. Excuse me? Liar. You big French liar. So he's walking through slowly, calmly. Britney, recognizes him because, I don't know, he's 7'4". I mean, he's kind of hard to not, recognize. I think she's a basketball fan or maybe just a fan of, big dudes.
That's a huge bitch.
Gee, why would a young lady be chasing down someone who's 7'4"?
The most well-endowed.
I have no idea. But look, she's innocently tapping him on the shoulder here. She's not doing anything wrong. Victor, hi. She's trying to introduce herself and thwack. It's a clear smack to the face. I don't see, this whole bull crap that he said. This is what he said. The person was calling me sir, that grabbed me from behind. I didn't see what happened because I was walking straight, and we were told don't stop, but that person grabbed me from behind, not on my shoulders. So I just know that security pushed her away. I don't know with how much force. I didn't stop to look. That's one more time. Let me read that one more time, the story, then we'll get back to the video. This is Victor's claim of what actually happened.
And I read.
And now we can see he's completely full of crap, and we can explain in a second or discuss what exactly does that mean. He says, quote, the person was calling me sir, and that person grabbed me from behind. I didn't see what happened because I was walking straight, and we were told don't stop, but that person grabbed me from behind, not on my shoulders. So I just know that security pushed her away. I don't know with how much force. I didn't stop to look. That was a fun night at the restaurant, yada, yada, yada. That's what he claims. Is that what happened to anyone who's not Stevie Wonder? Tell me that's what happened, that she grabs him from behind, that there's some huge crowd, that he had to be able to not stop or look back or do anything else because of the swarms of people, and that she grabbed him from behind, quote, not on the shoulders, which I think insinuates she was going for his butt or something. I don't know what he's claiming, but that's not what happened. She's lightly tapping him on the shoulder and gets thwacked in the face. You can hear the audio, the guy quietly going, oh, she got smacked in the face. He's lying. That's just a lie. I'm just going to keep saying the word. This is a big fat, you are a liar.
Look, it was the big lie. We'll delay the lie for 1 year.
You got the cops to back you up on this. You got Britney's, demands for an apology overridden. I mean, look at this is the one in slow motion. One more time. Look at it in slow motion. Do you see anyone get grabbed, thwacked in the face? Smack. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? They said slap. Look at this. Last time, and we'll move on. Tappy tap tap. Schmack in the head. That is just, there's no grabbing from behind. There's no nothing. There's a light tap, and your security acting out of line and smacking a girl this is her town. That's Las Vegas, man. Britney performs in Vegas. That's supposed to be her city.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
That's the level that Victor's operating on. Just to give you an idea of just how famous is Victor Wembanyama right now. He's Victor. I say his name wrong. I let Victor Wembanyama. I want to say, anyways. Frenchie here, the Wemby. We're just gonna call him Wemby. That's how famous Wemby is right now. Is that even in her town, in Las Vegas, he was considered the bigger story or the guy that we had to cover for, as she clearly got whacked in the head and asked for an apology. I still think she deserves one. Hasn't been given one yet. I mean, what are you guys waiting on now that the video's out? Why have I not heard an apology? And maybe by the time this recording comes out, there will be an apology. But your story is bull. What? We can move on. I'm just saying, he's lying his ass off, and there's nothing really to back up any part of his claim. There's everything to back up everything Britney said, and the video evidence is even more damning. That they haven't released an apology, I do think is a little bit of an interesting character thing as we're trying to break down things way too early. That what does it say about him? That he couldn't just be like, hey, new to this, security guy overreacted. I'm really sorry to Britney. I'd love to see you at a game front row, or, can we talk? Something public to be like, yeah, it was my bad. I did not mean to get you whacked in the face. I do not like to see the women get hit. I am the lovers. I am not the fighters. I will take all 7'4" of me, and I will come give you a big hug with my big skinny arms. And I will make it all better. Something like that. Excuse me, something along those lines. Other than just, she grabbed my ass, dog. I don't know what you're saying. She tried to grab me from behind. She not do? And my security had to. They smacked her. She deserved it. I thought she should have been body slammed. That story doesn't check out. Whatever. What it is. You did it again. You know what else he did again? He played basketball. So let's go ahead and analyze that. Victor Wembanyama did play some basketball over the weekend and in the summer league. And, of course, everyone overreacted on both sides of it. And that's just human nature, especially with a guy that we've hyped up to the point that he is somehow more popular than Britney Spears in Las Vegas currently. That's the level of fame, eyeball, spotlight that he's operating on. Everyone is just freaking out about this kid and overreacting on both ways. On both ways. He's either the greatest thing or the biggest bust, and we can't really just relax. Got to lose our minds.
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
That's what it is. So the first game, obviously, it was interesting. It is interesting as far as I break down, because his first game was bad, second game was good. But still, as everyone freaked out on both sides of this,
well, then everyone loses their minds.
Much like politics or whatever else, I love that in the first game where he was bad, he had 9 points on 2 of 13 shooting, looked nervous, inconsistent, a lot of things we could expect. A lot of people, though, were on the argument of like, well, so what? It's his first game. So the same fan, just pick a lane, I guess is all I'm saying. Spurs fan, especially Spurs fan. Pick a lane with what happened over the weekend with Victor Wembanyama, because it is annoying to no end that when he first had a bad game, the argument and the thing that I kept hearing was, well, it doesn't matter because it's only Summer League. You know, Steph Curry had a bad Summer League game in his first game. You know, Kevin Durant had a bad game in his first Summer League game. It means nothing. It's just Summer League. It doesn't matter. It's completely kaput. Who cares? Look at just the good things and you shut your mouth. Fine. But then 2 days later, he has a good game, and now it's like, see, he's the greatest thing the world's ever seen. Victor Wembanyama, oh my God, he had a good game. Now forget the fact, Summer League's the most important thing we've ever seen. I can't believe how well he played. He's the greatest prospect. I'm gonna orgasm. Pick one side. Pick one side and stay. You can either say, look, and fair enough, it's Summer League, it's early, he's 19, we're still figuring this kid out, he's still figuring the Spurs out, we don't know what we have yet, but you can't then go to 2 days later and be like, oh my God, he had 27 points, 10 rebounds, 27 points and 10 rebounds, he's the first Spur in 6 years, did you know that? First Spur, hallelujah, in 6 years to have 27 points and 10 rebounds in Summer League. There's 2 reasons that stat is bullcrap, by the way. There are 2 reasons. There was this new thing that came out after he had his good game. Again, had 27 points, 12 rebounds, was 9 of 14, looked good. And we'll get into the tape here in a second. But here's what pisses me off about that. As that's an interesting little note that everyone's putting up, kind of fake newsy a little bit. He's the first Spur since the year 2017 to have 27 points and 10 rebounds in a Summer League game and whatever.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind?
It's because of one of 2 reasons. It's either A, because I can't find them. Tell me if someone can find the box scores before 2017. Or you don't want to mention who actually got it done. I looked in the 2018 box scores trying to find what was the other Spur, because that was the big part of that was omitted. And don't tell me that was omitted by accident, as you're trying to overreact to the good game to make up for or to compensate for the first bad game. When you throw out that stat at me, and you don't think I don't notice when you say, oh, he had 27 points, 10 rebounds. He's the first Spur to do that in Summer League in 10 years. And I am trying desperately to find out who was the other one. I got you, you bastard. Who? Who was it? Because that should be, if it was a good player, I promise they would have mentioned it. Or if they had that stat, they would have mentioned, he's the last one to do it since Tim Duncan or David Robinson or somebody else. It looks like, and I tried to find it, it's either one of 2 people. It's either Bryn Forbes or it's a guy, what's his name? Olivier Hanlon. It's one of those 2. If you're going back to the 2017 Summer League, I looked up the box scores. The only one that ever had 27 points or more was Bryn Forbes. The only one I can see that had 10 rebounds in one of those Summer League games was a guy named Olivier Hanlon. So it's not exactly... I guess that's my point. You know what I mean? Like, in the end, I think I have to cough one more time. Oh, excuse me. I really do think that... You're omitting that on purpose. You're omitting that fact on purpose. And I know what you're doing, and it's not that cute. But let's look at both. So first game, he plays Charlotte. He plays Brandon Miller. It doesn't go that great. He does have some highlights here that we can show you, and let's check them out. This was his very first game after the Britney slap, after everything else, after all the attention. Sold out crowd. It was nuts in the in Vegas there. Everyone, all eyes were on him. Even the Rockets hit a game-winning shot before that, so the crowd was really hyped. I mean, this was the most we've seen anticipation in the Summer League. Zion, I'm trying to think. There's not anyone I can think of really that had this much attention for this early of kind of what we consider an off-season who cares game. All eyes were on Victor, and he didn't do that great. The lights got to him a little bit. He did have some decent moves here, but he got yammed on, and let me go ahead and turn down the music and just show you this. Kai Jones did posterize him, and this stuff happens. I mean, sometimes you get yammed on. He's going to try to block shots. He did have 5 blocks. I mean, the kid overall looked good, but a lot of people did point to this. Also had a couple air balls. I mean, he struggled. He was 2 of 13. I mean, that first game, Victor Wembanyama was 2 of 13 from the field. That's not good at all. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to tell you there. He did have 8 rebounds, 5 blocks in 27 minutes. But overall, you did see, again, though, if you're looking at the bigger picture of what you were trying to get excited and salivate for, he did show you some stuff here. I mean, the handle's sick. The passing, I like the passing with him. Obviously, the block shots, the defense, his range, and we can go back and look at that one more time here. The range of the blocks it's a lot, man. The fact that he's able to go out on guys like that's Brandon Miller. That's the number 2 overall pick. That's a small forward. He was able to switch on guards and ball handlers and do the same thing. He just, at 7'4", closes out so much space. It's ridiculous. And his reaction time and his ability to just make up for extended amount of room is going to be probably his most significant asset as a rookie. Is defensively as a shot blocker and as a clogger and someone who can just make up for a lot of mistakes by other people because he anticipates well and he's just so damn rangy and long. I mean, this should be at least an open shot. I mean, he's not even on the flipping screen right now, and he's going to show up and get a piece of that ball. And Brandon has a quick release. Brandon Miller, I will say, does have a quick release, and you watch it right there. He's not even in the damn screen, and sure enough, nope, that ain't going up. So, yeah, the handle, the passing, we saw a lot of this. Again, not a lot of highlights. This was his first bucket he had. I mean, I guess nice use of the left. He only made 2 damn baskets the whole night. So let's just keep showing the one. This was from the very first part of the game here. I mean, you can see for his size, handles well. That's a hell of a pass. That's a nice play. It is a wide open dunk, but, you know, nice use of the offhand on the pass there. And he finally knocked in a shot late. Decent form. Again, that left hand, though, I'm telling you, you guys aren't paying attention. The way he holds the ball, you're supposed to hold a shooting, when you shoot, your left hand's supposed to be all the way here, and that's supposed to be in the shot pocket. He, holds it like this when he starts. He holds it almost sideways. It's a weird way to start your shooting motion, and it's going to lead to inconsistency left and right, stuff like that. Watch that 3 one more time. Let's see if I can zoom in on that, because I really want to make a point about that, because you guys don't seem to get or think I'm just making this up or I'm just like some schmuck that doesn't know what he's talking about. I can shoot a basketball. I did it at a decent level here, and I was a shooting coach, an instructor. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. Let's see. I just really want to see if I can get that zoom exactly where I want it, because, man, if I could, you can see it. You can see it. It's right there. It's so close. Let me see if I can. I'm just going to show you, but just watch his left. I'm just going to say the whole thing. Just watch his left one more time. It's way too far over. It's a weird way to start your shot motion, but he did knock that one down. But overall, again, 2 of 13, didn't look that great, and all the naysayers were out, and they were way too much, calling him a bust, all this other stuff. It was way too early. It was just a summer league game, so I get a lot of people being like, stop being silly. It's all right. It's one game. And so what? Because Steph Curry had a bad Summer League game in his first game out. Kevin Durant had a bad first game in his first Summer League game. What's the big deal? Yada, yada, yada. Fair enough, I hear that argument. What annoys me, though, is that he did play better in the next game and had 27 points, again, on 9 of 14 shooting, 2 of 4 from threes, and then still had 12 rebounds and 3 blocks. And now you're already back to he's the GOAT. He's the greatest thing we've ever seen. Again, pick a lane. You can't do both. You have to either accept the fact that Summer League is only a little bit of what we are going to see overall. It's still very early, or that it's not the way to prove that he's already the greatest prospect that we've ever had in any sport ever.
Really?
Worth looking at, though. Check it out. I mean, he does play well here. I mean, you can see it now. He was much more just bouncy, loose in this second game. That's something to really be salivating over right there. That little move that a 7'4" guy who has a smaller guy on him goes jab to the right, little crossover, nice use of not, taking too much space or too much time, just quick, decisive. I see a smaller guy. I can shoot basically over everyone because I'm 7'4". Let me hit you with the cross, go right to the top of the elbow area. I mean, smooth as can be. Again, he's a rhythm shooter. Listen to me about that. Victor is not a pure form shooter. He's not a Klay Thompson, Ray Allen. His form's a little off, especially mechanically, the way he holds the ball. But in the game, off the dribble or in rhythm once he gets going, this is how he was able to get 37 points against the G League Ignite team and hit 7 threes, and then also airball in the same damn building just a few months later. He is going to be a streak rhythm type shooter guy. He needs to be in the flow of things, and if he's got a flow going, he's going to have big flashes, big moments. But until he fixes some mechanics and gets some things under his base a little bit more, maybe gets some more strength and better conditioning, he's going to be heavily inconsistent. And I'm not just basing this on what he's done before. I'm doing it by watching his style and how he plays. He's a rhythm shooter. He's not a form shooter, and that's going to lead to high ups and high downs depending on how he's flowing. Obviously, his defense is always going to be something that's very useful. Gets some dunks here. He'll be able to finish. He's too damn skinny. We already knew that. But that's a nice little back and forth, little up and under move there in the post. So that's a decent looking three there. His release on it is nice. It's just the hand placement. So he had, a great game there and looked overall good. Look at one more time. So, the ability, obviously, to just, he tapped it to himself and tip dunked it. That's stupid. This little crossover and back is great. Smooth as can be, rhythm shot. Defensively had 8 blocks in 2 games, so he's averaging 4 blocks a game in Summer League. Can clearly lead the break and finish. Very Ralph Sampson-y right there in style. And then that's almost Duncan-esque there to go back and forth. Nikola Jokic-like use of the footwork in the post. And then is able to come out and step out and hit a 3. So I get it. I see why you guys are Jesse Spanoing a little bit.
I'm so excited!
Good.
I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
Get that poor girl off those speed pills. But yeah, overall, you have to like some of the things that you saw, but you also did not see the greatest prospect ever. And I do have to make that part clear. San Antonio Spurs fan. I did not see the greatest thing in the world. I didn't. I saw a skinny kid who has a lot of talent, who I can see has a lot of ability to do a lot of different things. But I did not watch him in the same way. When you saw Shaq early on, it was kind of like, oh. When you saw, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, there were certain guys, that were clearly early on, you're like, oh boy. Ooh, okay, here we go. Even Zion, before he got all fat, was another one that you watched and went, You see Victor, and you have moments of that, and then you see other parts, and you go, nah, okay. Still kind of skinny, still got a ways to go. So, we'll see. We'll see, man. But he still owes Brittany an apology no matter what. And he could use the mentor besides the big 3 of their San Antonio, the ones that they have in Manu Tim and Tony Parker. How could I forget about Frenchie? He could use LeBron out there. But the kid's nice. Kid's nice. There's a lot of things there that are a lot of things to be excited about. But overall, I don't know if I would be like, oh, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in the whole wide world. Then, mechanically, shot's a little weird, as people have now kind of joined in and pointed out. He's only shooting 27% from threes, 27.5 on 171 attempts last year in France. That was actually a shorter distance, by the way. I hope you know that. They're like 9 inches short of three-point line. He's still only shooting 28%. It's not going to be a strong suit early on.
Damn, Daniel.
He did only shoot 2 of 13 in the first game and has had not one, but 2 air balls in his first 2 games. He's averaging an air ball per game.
Damn, Daniel.
Also had 8 blocks. Was able to, start and lead breaks, close out a lot of space. Great passer, 7'4", very athletic. A lot of good things to be excited about. We shall see. All right, that was all my points today. It's video time.
You seen it? You seen it? Don't look at me. Don't look at me, little puppet.
Have you seen this? Have you read about this?
Let me go ahead and move on into this. Yeah, this is just the way I like to end the podcast here. I like to do fun videos that either entertain me, make me cringe, or do something in between, and you guys should join along with us. So this is specifically for the YouTube part of the program. So go to YouTube, Tricky Guy Sports, and find this and write along with us. It's always a lot of fun. Where should I start today? How about this one? Simple question. Which one do you think is tougher, golf or baseball? That's always been a fun little debate, golf or baseball. What is the harder thing to do? I think most people admit the hardest thing in sports, the argument of what is the most difficult thing to do in sports, usually comes down to one of two. Hitting a golf ball at the level of a Tiger Woods or a Fred Couples or some sort of professional, or hitting a baseball. Which one is the tougher, more difficult skill thing to do? Even though the ball's not moving, I say golf. I just think the level of intricacy that it takes, millimeters of difference in the angle of the club and the way that the trajectory, literally, a millimeter or two after, when you expand that out to 300 something yards, the littlest of mistakes get so amplified. And at the PGA level, these courses are so unforgiving. They have fairways and greens like cement. They have giant roughs that model the Sahara. It's not your typical, it's not your local country club golf course or your frickin' driving range. It's a whole different ball game to accurately hit over and over that stupid little dimpled ball that just wants to go the wrong way and just wants to frustrate you and piss you off in ways that should drive even a Buddhist person crazy. It's just with all that combined with the courses and everything else, yes, when a guy 6'4" is throwing 100-mile-per-hour freaking rock at you and you only have 3 chances to hit it, it's tough too. I'm not saying it. I think it's 51-49, but if you ask me, I do think hitting a golf ball is probably harder at the professional PGA level than it is to hit a baseball at the professional level. But there's a twist to this argument. Which one of these two is tougher? And you tell me. Let's start off with, I have no idea how this guy does this, but this is a guy hitting the golf ball off the bounce. This is bananas consistently. Look at this dude. Doink. Doink. I would love to see videos of any of you asswipes trying this. Like, oh, that's not that hard. I could do that. I could totally smack it off the bounce like a golf ball, ground ball, and hitting basically almost straight, pretty decent drives out into the middle of the night there. He finally shanks one there, but that was pretty damn good, man. That was, I'm not even mad at him for that one. That was pretty impressive.
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
But is it harder than something else? And this is maybe how Shohei got so good. Shohei Ohtani, who had the greatest month of baseball, arguably in MLB history, and is the greatest thing in baseball currently. Shout out to Shohei Showtime out there in Angel Land. Wonder if he got it from Bottle Cap Baseball. This stuff is bananas. I have no idea how anyone can even do this. Look at this. So they throw a damn bottle cap instead of a baseball. So everything is like normal baseball or wiffle ball-ish stuff, but I guess they're throwing a bottle cap. I could give the average person, I'll give you 100 tries for $100 to your 10. I'll take your $10 off your hand real easy. Try to hit this. Look at this. I mean, maybe that's why, Shohei and some of the Japanese and the Asian markets taking over baseball. Friggin' baseball's going to look like a friggin' watermelon after you try to hit that stupid thing. Look at that one more time. That's just nuts. I mean, you just swing at the air and maybe you'll have an opportunity, but you're not reading that. You're not, breaking that down. Your eyes can't keep up with that. No wonder he's kicking our ass. He's probably the bottle cap greatest player of all time. I still say hitting a golf ball is harder than hitting a baseball at the professional level, though. I will say that. Speaking of golf and wild animals here, let's start with a dog. You can get out-golfed by a dog. Look at this. This is cute. Brewski. Sinking it.
Hell yeah, broski!
Yeah.
Shake and bake!
Shake and bake, Brewski. Shake and bake. Look at that one more time. Brewski the golfing dog.
Hell yeah, broski! Shake and bake! Shake and bake!
Shake and bake. He clearly knew what he was doing. One last time here. I love this. Look at this. This dog has the golf, the club in his mouth. He's looking at the hole. He's got about a 15-foot putt, and he can go ahead and get that biscuit treat. Does good boy want a biscuit treat? Does good boy want a treat? You better make that putt from 15. He's going to have a slight left to right.
Hell yeah, broski! Shake and bake! Shake and bake!
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
But in the same vein, since we just saw great golf and great baseball to not be outdone, this might actually be for dogs. It might be actually harder for them to hit a baseball because this dog smacks the crap out of it. This dog could maybe hit a damn bottle cap. Look at this. Who's a good boy? Who wants a home run? Who wants a home run? Bang! Dude, he clearly understood what was going on. Put this stick in my mouth. You're going to throw that thing. I'm going to whack it all the way across the garage here. I mean, this dog clearly knew what he was doing. So, I mean, maybe in human world, it's harder to hit a golf ball than it is to hit a baseball. But in dog world, dude, that dog wins. I don't know what he wins other than like the biggest ribeye steak bone of all time or T-bone or something. But that's bananas. I love dogs. If you don't love dogs, you can kiss my ass. Look at this. Bang. That's awesome. Do you know how long I could do that? If my dog had hit a baseball like that, I would be out there all freaking day just watching my dog. I'd just be getting strangers just outside to be, hey, come check this out. Come watch my dog. Look at this. Pow. Pretty good. Pretty good. So dogs are good on the golf course, but what aren't are bears. I don't even know where this is. It's the one part about golf is you're out in nature. These bears are having a grand old time, though. I have no idea what green this is. I don't know where. You gonna tell them to speed it up? Hey, could you guys move along here? We're trying to keep the game going. Yeah. Wives are calling us. We have like 30 minutes to finish out the last 3 holes here, guys. It's unbearable what you're doing. Oh, God, dad jokes. I can't help them. I can't not do it. Come on, guys. This is barely cool anymore.
Get your shirt now.
Oh,
link in bio.
Little free advertising I didn't see at the end there. But yeah, bears on the green. That's what happens when you let women play golf.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears. The bears can smell the menstruation.
That's what happens.
Well, that's just great. You hear that, Ed? Bears.
That's what happens when you let women play golf. What else did I want to show you here that's kind of fun at the end? Oh, technology. All right, I got some technology stuff here. This screen, I'm not going to lie to you. I got a little excited. My pants moved a little. Most men, we don't have a lot of things that we can fall in love with, but to have the greatest TV screen to watch a game is arguably up there as one of the things that's the most most guys, almost every guy can be like, ooh, big screen. This one made me a little in the pants here. Tell me if it didn't work for you. Look at this just beautiful, beautiful work of art come to life. 144-inch outdoor. Watch anything you want. Just gorgeous Picasso-level structure of a television. Look at this thing. Look at this. Comes out of the ground via like Star Trek. Oh, that is so freaking cool. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I couldn't have that TV and have a kid, because then when they would say, like, what's the most beautiful thing you ever seen? I'm supposed to say my child being born, and it's not. It's clearly that. That is the sexiest thing in the world. Look at that. 144-inch, comes out of the flipping ground, turns and twists. I mean, I am so glad this camera's only up to here, because I would be, you might see it. You might see it.
Go away, Baton.
Just saying. Just saying. I'm not as into this as others. Some people, like to do things that are more risky, that are a little bit more out there. This is, though, in the same concept of technology and kind of in the future here. Jetpacks are apparently coming. Like, we are finally at the point of, like, a lot of the things that we've been talking about and seeing in movies and being like, why don't they have this? And Back to the Future, they had it, and it was supposed to be this year. No. Well, looks like we're getting close to jetpacks. I don't know when I will get on one, but I bet a lot of you are going to get there pretty soon. But just recently, they had a jetpack race, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Also looks dangerous, but it looks pretty awesome. Check it out. That's like I see in movies. That is a jetpack functioning properly. That is a jetpack race. That's insane. I got to see that again. Look at that one more time. That is jetpack racing. That is functional jetpacks. We have hit that part of the development of technology here to where it's no longer just CGI in a movie or, the water jetpack, which I don't even count because, it's cute and all. You do all the flippy things and do all that. It's cool, but it's not an actual straight up put on your back, light enough to carry jetpack. We apparently have them now. Like, we're getting there. I like it. I like it a lot. This one, though, oh, my God. All right, I have to bring this to you. You know what? I'll probably call it after this. I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is the last one I want to bring you. And Jesus H. Christ, as I just showed jetpacks, talking about extreme sports and all that.
I ain't got a good brain.
All right, this is... okay. I'm going to tie this in saying that extreme sports are stupid. There's a lot of people that do a lot of extreme stupid things. And what this guy did, the fact that he's alive, luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. This guy could clearly be dead. He was an absolute moron. Whoever set this up was an absolute moron. They put this contraption where they put it, the edge of a cliff. It's one of these carnival space training. It clearly looks like it was just slapped together. So without further ado, the dumbest thing that I've seen, and to be honest, I'm only 50-50 on the fact that, like, oh, he's alive. Okay, great. Because honestly, when you're this dumb, just watch. You might think I'm just an asshole. I'm telling you that watch it and tell me what you think. This is the space training kind of machine for zero gravity that for some reason they thought would be cute to put at the edge of a cliff, and it went horribly wrong. Yeah, let's do that at the edge. Look at this. Let's do that twisting around thing. We have an entire flipping, bajillion yards of space and rock. Let's put it right next to the edge of a cliff because we're asswipes. And we think this is funny or cute or something. It didn't go well. I'll just play the whole video now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I want to spin around for no reason in the contraption that's clearly not, professionally done. Yeah, flip me more, do it faster, and pow. How am I supposed to feel sorry for him? How am I supposed to feel sorry? He's alive, apparently. The news story said he survived. The thing protected his head, and hopefully, I guess full recovery. Yeah. But what do you want? What do you that? All the money, maybe if you offer me millions and millions of dollars to say, hey, try this once for 10 seconds, and even then I'd be like, I don't know, it seems pretty stupid.
I never learned to read.
I mean, am I that desperate in my life that this guy did this for fun? This was fun for them. So when this went the way it did, I don't feel much. I don't. I know I'm supposed to. I know I'm supposed to. That's horrible that happened. But he's on the edge. My favorite part is that apparently it wasn't fast enough, that you couldn't hear the screws and things and doing all the creaking here right at the very end. And last time we'll show it, you know. Get a picture. Look at me having a good time. I'm on vacation. I'm an astronaut. I'm an astronaut. Spin me faster. I'm an astronaut. I'm training like an astronaut. You're certainly an ass, and you're gone. And you're gone.
And it's gone.
And apparently he's alive, so whatever. Just saying, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and when you get stupid prizes after you play stupid games, I'm kind of in support of it. I like evolution. I like Darwinism.
I like that idea, and I will support it.
I like you guys, and I like saying goodbye. Well, I don't like saying goodbye, but I'm going to. But I'll be back. We always are, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.